since I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
I was big league dreaming.
I was big league dreaming.
For as long as I live,
Always.
I'm big league dreaming.
I never got to bat in the major leagues. I'd have liked to have that chance, just once. To stare down a big league pitcher. Make him think you know something he doesn't. Chance to squint at a sky so blue that it hurts your eyes just to look at. To feel the tingle in your arm as you connect with the ball. To run the bases, stretch a double into a triple, and flop face first. Wrap your arms around the bag. That's my wish, Rick and Silla.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big League Dreaming, the podcast. I'm John Gonzalez, the dad, and we're so excited because, well, right now we have 2 out of 3. Say hello to Ty Gonzalez. He's son number 2.
What's going on? What's going on? Big League Dreaming, the podcast. We're here. We're live.
Yeah, we're here. We're live. We got a couple different things going on. My TV's going back and forth. Son number 1 is here. Zach, say hi to everyone, Zach.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. I'm here as well. Good to be here.
And we're waiting on son number 3, and he's fashionably being fashionable, I guess. I don't know. He's a little late, a little tardy for the show, but that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. So I'm right now, obviously the reason we're doing kind of the special podcast, well, if Zane comes on tonight, it'll be the first time that actually all 4 of us are on the podcast together, which will be a feat in itself. But we decided to do this because, Zach, was this your idea, or did you remind me that today was the big day?
I mean, I don't know how you forgot that today was the day. You just texted me in the morning. I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh, the Little League World Series stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know that game's at 5, but I'm going to be watching the Field of Dreams game at 7 because they do the pregame at like 6:30 and all that. And you were like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot today was the day or whatever. And the snowball started rolling after that.
Yeah, I can't believe that today's the day. I've been kind of watching this Little League World Series this year. I don't know why. Something told me that the team from Michigan was going to be good this year. And right now I'm watching, there was a weather delay, 2 hours and 11 minutes, 2 hours and 11-minute weather delay. They're playing down in Indiana, and they're playing, if they win this game, they're up 6-0 right now in the bottom of the 5th inning. And if they win this game, they'll advance to the Little League World Series. They'll advance to the regional championship, and then the top 2 teams make it. So we'll do a special podcast on just the Little League World Series probably next week because it's got a different format this year. But anyway, so I'm watching that game. And then, Ty, are you watching the big game too?
Yeah, I got the Field of Dreams game on right now. Brett Gardner just made a great catch at the warning track. Looked like it was going to be another home run. I think there's already been like 2 or 3 home runs already in this game.
I think didn't Judge hit the first home run?
I don't know if it was the first. I think
it was.
I was busy putting the girls
Chicago
down for bed, but I did get an alert that he went Apo Taco, and I watched the video, and it's pretty cool to see the ball go over the fence into the corn. Like even the foul balls going into the corn, it's like so cool.
Right. Well, yeah, I was watching. So it worked out great for me because, like I said, I'm watching the Little League World Series right now, and that game started at 5:00. The Field of Dreams game started at 7:00 with the pregame and everything. But when that weather delay happened, I watched all the pregame. Did you guys, either one of you, watch the pregame and the lead up to it?
Yeah, I had watched like the tail end of it. I saw Ray Kinsella throw out that first pitch. That was pretty sweet.
Ray Kinsella. I love it.
I didn't get to catch a whole lot of it because I was busy with the girls. But I did pull it up at one point, or I had it on the TV, and I was able to watch it at one point. And they were just announcing they're getting ready to announce like the starting lineups and all that. So I saw him walking out from the corn, shaking Kevin Costner's hand, and then I got to listen to him speak. And it was just like I got emotional watching it. I was like, holy smokes, why am I tearing up watching this right now? And then, of course, my daughter started screaming. I think she needed to wash her hands or something, but so I had to step away. But yeah, it was really. I'm really glad they're doing this.
Yeah, they were supposed to do it last year. Obviously, with COVID, that didn't happen. I think it was supposed to be the Cardinals versus the White Sox, and this year it's Yankees versus White Sox. you talked about the emotions. This is what surprised me. We'll tell our story in a second about Field of Dreams, our family story, because Ty, in the production that you do for the intro for Big League Dreaming, the podcast, we play a clip, from Moonlight Graham. It's in our show every single time the show airs. That clip is there. So Field of Dreams is close to our family. But for me, watching the major leaguers like A-Rod, Big Papi, Frank Thomas. Well, it was more A-Rod and Big Papi when they were talking about it. They were emotional. They were caught up in the moment. And I can't imagine what it would be like to be in that environment, in that cornfield, right where they made the movie, and then to watch major leaguers play, and Kevin Costner comes on the field. There's the house over there. You can just see it all happening in front of you. But what really threw me, or made me like, wow, this is real, was to see those guys get emotional. Big Papi talked about how when he watched the movie for the first time, he teared up, right? Because it reminded him of him with his relationship with his dad. And then A-Rod talking about, well, for him it meant a lot because about the time the movie came out, his dad was no longer a part of his life. So it took on a different meaning for A-Rod, and he was emotional. So I'm amazed that a movie that was out, 30 years ago, still has that kind of staying power. It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you mentioned A-Rod and Big Papi, and then I don't know if you guys saw Aaron Boone. I think it was Ken Rosenthal interviewed him right before, and he was super emotional. Like, he couldn't even speak when he started interviewing him, because he's got, his dad, Bob Boone, and Ray Boone, and Brett Boone, and all those guys. They're a huge family, and he was super emotional during that.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment as well. And I was surprised at how emotional Ken Rosenthal got too, because they talk about the history of families playing together. So, hey, guess who just came on with us? Hey, Zane, how's it going?
He must have his mic off.
he'll get with it.
Can you hear me?
Hey, there he is. How you doing, Zane?
Can you hear me?
Got you.
We're recording,
Can you hear
Zane.
me?
Just a warning.
Yeah, we got you.
Recording.
Okay.
We're on.
Sorry,
We're live.
I'm outside.
I hear that. I can hear the crickets out there in South Bend.
You would think it's Iowa.
It's Iowa. He wanted to give us the mood for our Field of Dreams game. So, yeah. Zane, in case you missed the program here, we are talking about the Field of Dreams game, White Sox versus Yankees. We're talking a little bit about the World Series, the Little League World Series, but not too much. And we're just talking about how emotional the players, the former players, A-Rod and Big Papi got in the pregame. Ty was just talking about Aaron Boone and how emotional he was, and Ken Rosenthal. Did you watch any of the pregame of today's big game?
Nope. No cable, nothing, blackout restrictions. So I'm not even watching it right now.
Wow.
I have no way to watch it.
No way to watch it. That's crazy.
No way to legally watch it.
Okay. Good way to qualify it. So I guess maybe we'll start with you then, Zane. So I was trying to figure out the year that we went as a family to Dyersville, Iowa, to see the Field of Dreams. I think it was 2006, 2007. Zach, you might have been going into your senior year. Do you remember? Maybe you got a good memory sometimes.
I mean, Ty's the one with the superb memory. He might be the one to ask, but I feel like it was 2006 because that was my junior year, and I want to say it was that big trip that we had where me and Mom went down to Oklahoma for my World Series like a week early, and then we met you and the boys in St. Louis for Ty's World Series. And then when we were in St. Louis, I want to say we went I don't know if that was the Memphis trip or not, but I want to say on the way home from St. Louis, we drove up to Dyersville, Iowa, hit the Field of Dreams, and then made our way home.
Yeah, I think you're right about it was 2006 because we were trying to figure that out as well. I think 2007 is when we went to Memphis, and that's when we did like that kind of those teams. But Zach, what do you remember most about going to Field of Dreams?
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of memories, but I do remember that it was kind of open to the public. There was we were there midday, I don't know, lunchtime, 2, 3 o'clock. It was the middle of the day. I remember there's a lot of people out there just kind of walking around. Like, we played catch in right field. I remember that. I remember there were some younger kids at home plate, dad throwing them balls, and they're hitting a little bit. I remember there was like a lot of people just kind of like walking around, and here we are, like high school kids trying to throw in the outfield, and people are kind of getting in the way and stuff. And but we like took pictures in the corn and all that, and I don't know, it didn't feel like a movie set, right? Because we've been on baseball fields our whole lives. It just felt like something special. Like, it just felt different being there and like seeing the house right there. I don't think this field in the back was even there yet. It may have been like a travel ball field as well, but I do know that they had tournaments there, and like they played games and things there. They had a gift shop down the third base line that we went into. I do remember that. And I remember like a little trailer area where they had like t-shirts and things you could buy. I don't think they had those really nice red barns that they have there now back then. But we didn't spend a lot of time there. I remember that too. We were only there for a short time. But I remember playing catch. I remember taking photos. And it was really cool. Like, when I tell people that I've been there, like, nobody's been there, right? So when you talk to people and you can say, I've been there, it's like, what? You can go there? And it's like, yeah, man, it's Dyersville, Iowa. They're like, where's that at? So it's really cool that we've had that experience as a family, and it's something that I'll definitely never forget.
Well, this stadium is that they built specifically for today's game. I believe is going to stay there for a while. I think they're going to make this an annual tradition. But Ty, do you have any memories of our family trip to Dyersville?
Yeah, of course. Basically, like everything Zach said, I remember going there and playing catch, and it kind of being like really weird, like that it was an actual real place. We've seen the movie so many times as a family, and then when you go there, it's just like, wow, this is like Zach said, it doesn't feel like a place where they recorded a movie. It just feels like like a dream come true, like a real place. And then the one thing I remember about it that Zach didn't say was it felt really small.
That's
like,
what I was going to say.
I remember walking on there being like, wow, this looks way bigger in the movie. Like we could all just hit bombs there right now. It looked like a real field when you're watching the movie. And then when you get there, it's like, oh my gosh, this is like a 10U stadium. It's tiny.
Yeah, Zane, I'm glad you said that too, because I thought the same thing too, is that like it just felt small, right, Zane?
Yeah. I mean, I also remember like the light poles being in really weird spots, because like growing up, you always know light poles to be like on the outside of the field, but like these ones were like in the field, like in front of the corn. Like, I remember that, and I remember just feeling a lot smaller fish, but we weren't. But I mean, it just felt smaller, but it was just so cool going there. And then I also remember like the carving on the bleachers is still there. So just a lot of that small movie stuff that people don't really, think would be there when you go back.
Yeah, I remember the bleachers, and like you were saying, Zane, the carvings, and just remember going like, oh, this is where she fell down and choked on a hot dog. Hey, just to give you a quick update on this Michigan game. So Michigan just hit a walk-off, so it's a mercy rule. They scored their 10th run, and they won the game 10-0.
Nice.
This is interesting. I'll save this story for another day, but we'll talk about the travel ball experience. So Illinois played Michigan in this Great Lakes region. Illinois won the coin toss and opted to be visitors.
Really?
I love it.
and it backfired on them because they got shut out that first inning, and now they just got mercied because they didn't have the last at bat.
Oh man.
What is it? Single elimination? Double elimination?
It's double elimination. It is double elimination, but the team that they just beat now goes to the losers bracket.
Hey, they're throwing it.
Yeah. they were throwing it. Yeah, you never know. Maybe they're saving their arms for later. And so anyway, Michigan will go to the finals on Saturday, and they'll qualify for the Little League World Series. But getting back to the main topic, I'll switch it back to the game now that I won't be distracted.
Who picks visitors? What, do you pick visitors when you win the coin toss? The only time I've ever picked visitors
I
is
would.
I was coaching
I
team in Myrtle Beach.
No.
We were really bad. I knew we were gonna get crushed, so I said visitors. That way, we didn't have to like try to get out. You know, because we have to come up again. It was just like get our at bats and then it's done, and that's how it went. I think we played like 3 innings, got mercied, and there you go.
At least you got the bat first. The Field of Dreams game is 7-4 in the top of the 6th inning right now. White Sox up 7-4 in the game right now. So this will be a historic game. A lot of people were, like we were talking about earlier in the podcast, really emotional to start to everything. I don't know. It might have been a little too dramatic or maybe over dramatic, but then again, I don't know how you can't be. I mean, they're starting to show some of the sunset scenes right now.
Yeah, look at that.
Talking about the city coming together. They were talking about how all these cars, there were extras in the film, and they had to film that last scene. And that last scene is, will pull you. I mean, it gets you. You're overwhelmed by it, no matter how many times you see it. Right? I've seen the movie hundreds of times. Right? You guys have seen it hundreds of times.
I watched it last night.
Did you?
We watched it on Sunday.
Did you really?
Yep.
Yeah. It's on
Zane,
Peacock.
When you watched it, Zane, what did you remember thinking about watching it again?
I don't know. I just feel like the more and more you watch movies, the more smaller details you notice. Like when he goes to Boston and there's like he's at Fenway, just like how old that whole stadium feels. And then like just kind of how on top of it for a movie they were. Like actually being spot on about baseball information, because there's a lot of movies out there where baseball just like when they try and portray it on a movie, us baseball fanatics are like, well, that's not realistic. But like it's so realistic.
Zach, how about you when you watched it again?
When we watched it, it brought back a bunch of memories of when my wife and I went and saw the movie in theaters. So they did a special screening of it at this really old movie theater in Richmond, Virginia on Father's Day, a special viewing of it. And we went and saw it there. And the guy that owns the place, he like did a little speech before the movie, and thanks for coming out for this one showing of Field of Dreams on this special Father's Day. It was like a weekend, middle of the day. And I just remember being in that environment and being in like that really old theater watching the old, not that it's a super old movie, but 30 years old, takes you back seeing those old players being in that environment. So a bunch of memories, and then of course watching it as a kid too. And it was, every time you watch it, it's just it's one of the best movies ever. So
you know every line, what's going to happen next. You think, I always think about like, had I written it, how would I have written it differently? What would I have done? How would I have developed the characters different? I think as a writer, obviously, but every time I do, I was in Seattle when the stadium first opened, which was 1990. What year is that? 99. And I was there like the week before it opened up, and W.P. Kinsella, who wrote the book, was actually there reading excerpts of Shoeless Joe, the book.
Yeah.
Which was so cool, right? I just remember him being so awkward, not being a very good presenter. I just thought of this is the guy that wrote this book, But the movie, though, has just that kind of staying power. Ty, I was going to ask you, because you are a creative person who's always creating different things, and you think of, you do production and everything. What do you think about the production quality of that movie? Zach mentioned some of how it has lasted, and how it's a baseball movie. What about you from a production standpoint?
Yeah, I think I mean, obviously it's outstanding from a production standpoint, but like I'd say the main thing about it when talking production is like you don't even really need to know like baseball that well to follow it, because early on they tell that story so well. Like when I like something that's always like so vivid to me is the scene where he's like building the field and explaining the whole story to his daughter. They're picking up all the wood and they're picking up all the supplies, and just like telling that story it's so vivid to the viewer and not just the baseball fan. It can touch anyone, not even a sports fanatic.
That's a good point, because I mean, obviously it helps if you're a baseball fan, but if you don't have to be. You can just be someone that's like, why is this guy plowing under his crop?
Right.
What's a crop? I mean,
yeah, right. That whole scene just explains everything so well.
Yeah,
and it's really cool. It's really cool how they do it too, because he's explaining the story, but like there's so many different little scenes, like him like cutting down the crop, them getting the supplies, then hanging up the lights. I mean, there's so much going on that like you just hear a whole story in such a short amount of time.
And speaking of that, Ty, I feel like the movie, it like stays true. Like it holds time very well. It doesn't age poorly, where a lot of films can do that easily, right? With technology or what they're talking about, or what they refer to in the film. Honestly, aside from the scenes where he has to do the research in the library, we don't have to do that anymore, or maybe calling his wife from the payphone. The movie itself withholds, or whatever the better term or word for it is, Dad. It stands time very well. So I could show this movie to my kids down the road, and it's not going to be like something they can't relate to. I mean, if you, like you're saying, get on the tractor, plow, get the wood, all that stuff, like you'd have to do that exact same thing if you want to do that today. So I think that's another something that you can relate to a lot better nowadays watching that movie, and it can withstand, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
The test of time.
It's timeless.
Stands the test of time.
Stands the test of time.
That's the phrase. Thank you. Thank you, Zane.
So Zane, let me ask you, because guess we'll ask everyone the same question, but is there a better baseball movie, Zane? Because I know we've talked about maybe with some days talking about our favorite baseball movies. I mean, is Field of Dreams your favorite baseball movie, favorite sports movie?
Sports movie? Probably not. I mean, it's up there for baseball for sure. I don't know. Sandlot's always a classic. I don't know. If we're just talking sports movies, I would say Miracle's up there. That's for me, though. Like, I love Miracle, just the whole aspect of it. Moneyball is a great baseball movie. I mean, but I think Field of Dreams is definitely in any huge sports fan, especially baseball. It's in their top 5 no matter what.
Yeah. Ty, how about you?
Yeah, I would say baseball, definitely top 3 for sure. Definitely. My favorite sports movie, though, of all time is Remember the Titans.
Good one.
I just knew you were going to say that. Well, what other baseball movie, though, would rival this Field of Dreams?
Zach's going to say The Rookie.
42. I love 42.
42 is a great movie, yeah.
It's underrated. 42 is underrated.
42 is a good one. Zach, all right, go ahead, say it.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite movie is The Rookie. I mean, he's done with baseball, right? He's a left-handed pitcher just like me. He finds out all of a sudden he can throw 98. Like, I would love to wake up tomorrow and be able to throw 98 and go back pitch in the majors.
You might have a chance, yeah.
So, I mean, the whole story, and it's based on a true story. I'm a sucker for true stories. And what Jimmy Morris did is really amazing. But Field of Dreams is up there, like Ty said, top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Dad, what's your favorite? Well, same question for you, but what's your favorite line from Field of Dreams? Like, what's your favorite scene and what's your favorite line?
Yeah, I have a lot of favorite scenes. First, let me tell you my baseball movie.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams is still number one. But I do agree with you on the Rookie. Because the thing I like about the Rookie is it's 2-part movie, right? There's the part of him, trying to grow grass on the field. Owls win. I mean, there's that part, right? Bo's Tire Barn. I mean, the team has to achieve something and become a team, right? And then there's the next phase of him. And then I like also the dynamic of him being a dad and his relationship with his dad, how it's broken, and how he and his wife are raising their kid. So, and he wants to be an inspiration for his kids. So that to me, what I love about the Rookie. As far as Field of Dreams go, I mean, almost every line is a classic line. It really is. But the one, there's a line in the movie when they're at the ballpark, and I think he says, "What do you have?" And and he says, "What, a dog and a beer or whatever it is?"
What do you want? Yeah.
What do you want? I want people to leave me alone.
Yeah.
And I just love that kind of I'm not what I'm talking about. Like, what do you want? What do you want from the? But there's so many lines, in the movie.
And then he pays $7 for 2 dogs and 2 beers. Like, that's insane.
1989.
1989. So Zach, do you have a favorite line?
Yeah, when we were watching it on Sunday, like you said, there's so many good lines, right? But I have to say, if it's up there, probably my favorite line is when he meets Terrence Mann for the first time, and he's in his apartment, and he gets rejected, and he's like, "All right, I'm going back in. I gotta get this guy, right? I drove all these hours to meet this guy," and he has his finger in his coat. And Terrence Mann goes, "No, it's not. It's your finger." And Kevin Costner goes, "Get out of here. I'm not going to show you my gun." Like, that gets me every time. He's holding it. "Get out of here. I'm not going to show you my gun." So funny.
As far as
favorite line of the movie.
There's just too many to pick a favorite, but as far as funny stuff, like what Zach said, but anything the daughter says is always just so funny to me. Just harassing the dad, what's a southpaw? What is this? What's that? And he's trying to figure out all the bills and stuff. I always loved those lines. And then of course the obvious, the big monologue at the end, that's always up there for everyone.
Yeah. All right, Zane, bring it home.
So I'm going to go with an underrated one. It's when they're in Minnesota to find Moonlight Graham. And then he's like, "Oh, Terrence, did you know you're missing?" And then he's like, "Oh, I gotta call my dad." "Oh, you want me to step out?" "Yes, thanks." And then he starts to dial and he goes, "What do I tell him?" And then just chuckles.
Yes. What do I tell him?
Yeah, that's a great line too. I also like when the librarian recognizes him as being this famous author and doesn't say anything and just reads the article about Moonlight Graham, and he says, "Oh, you were a good writer," and she's like, "Yeah, you were too." I thought that was a lot of fun. Well, guys, this was a great time to just kind of get together. Our first podcast with actually all 4 of us on. We'll have to do it again. I would like to do a Little League World Series podcast next week if we can, because the team from Michigan definitely is going to be in it. So we'll be watching with a renewed interest, at least here in Michigan. Zach, I think the North Carolina, South Carolina beat up on each other down in that region. I don't know who ended up winning or not.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I don't really follow the Little League World Series very much. Zane, did you know that Moonlight Graham played for Charlotte?
When he was in the minors?
Yeah, they were called the Charlotte Hornets at that time. They have a banner outside the Charlotte Knights Stadium that says Moonlight Graham, has a picture on it.
Really? Fun fact.
Yeah. I'll take a picture of it for you.
Fun
Thanks.
fact. Well, we'll
Hey,
definitely-
for this Little League World Series, isn't this year just like a national championship? It's not all around the world.
That is correct. There'll be no foreign teams playing this year. It'll be all U.S. 16 teams. So there are 8 regions, and 2 teams from each region will go. So it's kind of weird because, like the Great Lakes region, Saturday is the finale or the championship finals, and it's the 2 teams are playing each other. But I don't even know why, because they're both advancing, right? I just would skip it and just go to the Little League World Series. But.
Just say you won the region.
Yeah, just to say you won the region. I wouldn't use any pitchers then, right? Save them all for next week.
Well, it's probably got to do with seeding too. I'd imagine.
Probably, yeah, because they separate up in 2 different regions.
They'll have time to rest their arms and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. It was good jumping on this call. Let's see, it's still 7-4. Yeah, obviously the White Sox are the team to beat, I think, in the American League.
La Russa effect.
I mean, those jerseys are awesome tonight, by the way, for the White Sox.
Oh,
one
yeah.
of those hats. I mean, that's just those White Sox hats are incredible.
Can't see it.
They got 17 former Charlotte Knights on that roster for the White Sox right now.
Oh, man.
Well, that's right. You were saying that who were you saying, Zach, with the catcher?
Sebi Zavala,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's just one of many. I mean, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, Mendick, Michael Kopech, who just got that big out, that strikeout that last half inning.
So you've seen a lot of these guys play, these White Sox players play.
A lot of them, yes. Zavala's up right now. Well, I'm probably behind you guys, but
Yeah, he strikes out. No, I'm just kidding.
oh, yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot, and we'll definitely do this again. Folks, thanks for tuning in for Big League Dreaming, the podcast. Ty, where can people get more information?
More information, follow us on Twitter at BLD Pod. That is at BLD POD. And we're also on TikTok at Big League Dreaming. We'll see you over there.
All right. Take care, everyone. See ya. Bye.